Hi, and welcome to this eFit home workout. I'm Rebecca, and today's session is all about building strength. So we're picking up the pace a little bit, building some heat, but remember to take things at your own pace and take a break whenever you need to. Let's start lying down on the back of the body. So whenever you're ready, shuffling the hips forwards towards the front of your mat, holding onto the knees as you roll down onto the ground. And take the feet fairly wide, let the knees fall inwards together. And allow the hands to rest onto the body here. Let's take 3 breaths together to start our practice. Breathing in, expanding the torso. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. One more big breath in. And releasing through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's get straight into it. So reaching the arms up over the head, extending the legs out onto the ground, and then just really pressing through fingers, through toes, engaging all of the muscles here. On your next exhale, hug the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around, and just lift the shoulders slightly. So we begin to engage the core here. Yeah, let's go 2 more times. Inhale, reaching out, press through fingers, through toes, pressing, pressing, pressing. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around, lifting shoulders and head as much as you can here. 1 more time, breathing in. Exhale, hugging everything in, lifting shoulders and head. Good. Place the feet down onto the ground, reach the fingers towards the heels, press hands into the floor. Let's lift the hips towards the ceiling now. So we're coming into our bridge pose. So you want to engage the back of the body here. Engaging the glutes, inner thighs, pressing those hands down. Good. 1 more breath here, breathing in. Exhale. Lower the hips down to the ground, hug the knees into the chest. Let's take a few rocks up and down the spine. Maybe about 2 or 3 times. And then when you're ready, cross the ankles over, roll over the knees. Let's come back into your tabletop position. Yeah, so knees about hip width apart here. You can untuck the toes, spread fingers wide, stack shoulders over the wrist. Let's take 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the gaze, opening through the front body. Exhale, tucking tailbone under, pressing into the floor. Inhale, opening. It's a bit of spinal mobility here. Exhale, spreading shoulder blades, press into the ground. So just warming up through the body. Inhale, last round, really opening. Exhale, tucking tailbone, pressing into the floor. When you're ready, finding a flat back, tuck toes under, lift the hips up and back. We're coming into our downward facing dog. Let's start to pedal the feet out here. Bending one knee, then the other. Good, just pedaling those feet out. Keep the fingers spreading wide. Try and have the gaze in between the knees here. On your next inhale, lift the heels high, ripple forwards, come into a high plank. As you exhale, we're going to reverse that motion. So press into the ground, lift through shoulders, then hips, and then heels draw down. Good. And again, inhale, lift the heels, ripple forwards, high plank. Exhale, pressing up, lifting, bring the heels to the ground. Once more, inhale, lifting heels, ripple forwards. Exhale, reverse that motion, up and back. Yeah, this time we're going to inhale, lift the heels, ripple forwards. Exhale, let the knees come down to the ground, then the chest, then the chin. This is our half chaturanga. Inhale, lifting the torso. This is our cobra. Squeeze the elbows in, soften shoulders. Exhale, tuck toes under, lift hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Pedal those feet out if you need to. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the heels, ripple forwards, high plank. Exhale, option to lower the knees down as we did before, or you can keep them lifted as you bend the elbows back, hover just above the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the arms straight this time. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Feel free to pedal those feet out. So hopefully you'll start to feel the body warming up a little bit now. Inhale, looking towards the hands. We're taking the right foot forwards. in between the hands. So you can use the hand to move the foot there. Lower the back knee, sweep the arms under and through. Low lunge. Good. Take a big breath in. Tuck this back toe under. Exhale, we're going to cactus the arms down and then hover that knee just off the floor. Inhale, we lower back down, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cactus the arms down, lift the knee off the ground. Good. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up, lower the knee down. Exhale, this time we're going to bring the hands to heart center. We find a twist, taking the left elbow over the right knee. Gaze is going to go towards that back elbow. Now the back toe is tucked under. Option to straighten this back leg if you want to make it a little bit more physically challenging. Soften this top shoulder away from the ear. One more breath here, breathing in. Exhale. Take the gaze down to the ground, frame the front foot to the back of the mat. Inhale here in your high plank. Exhale, option to have the knees come down or keep them lifted as you bend the elbows back behind and hover above the floor. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, tuck toes under, downward facing dog. Good, let's go for the other side. Inhale, take the gaze forwards. Left foot comes forwards now in between the hands. Lower the back knee down, sweep the arms under and through. Low lunge. Keep this back foot tucked under. Inhale here. Exhale, cactus the arms down, hover the knee just off the floor. Inhale, we reach up, we lower the back knee. Exhale, cactus the arms down, lift that back knee. Good. Once more, inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Good. Stop those legs burning a little bit here. Inhale, we lower back knee down. This time as you exhale, hands to heart center, we take a twist over that front leg. So right elbow's over the knee. Gaze towards that back elbow. Option to keep the toes tucked under and maybe straighten that back leg, creating a bit more lift in the body. Soften this top shoulder away from the ear. Don't worry about any wobbles or falls, it's all part of the process. One more breath here, breathing in. Exhale, gaze comes down to the ground. Frame that front foot to the back of the mat. Take a breath in your high plank. Exhale, option to bring the knees down or keep them lifted as we lower to the floor. Good, inhale, upward facing dog, straighten through the arms, coming into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's take 2 breaths here, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Now for this next bit here, either you can do it with the knees down or knees lifted if you want something a bit more challenging. Together we're going to inhale, take the right leg up. So it'll look like this with the knee lifted or like this with the knee down. On your next exhale, bring that top right knee all the way forwards towards the nose. The weight will shift into the hands a bit. Inhale, lift the leg, stretch it out behind. Exhale, knee to the nose. Last time, inhale, stretch out behind. Exhale, knee to nose. Place that foot down in between the hands. We're going to rise all the way up to our warrior 2. So ground this back foot down to the ground. Back foot is about parallel to the short side of the mat. Lunge into this front leg. Arms are stretching out wide to the sides. Soften shoulders, we gaze to the front middle finger. So just take a moment to find this positioning in our warrior 2. Then together, let's inhale, straighten the front leg, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, we press down back into our warrior 2. Lunge into that front leg. 2 more times. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, we press down. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down. 1 more breath here. Breathing in. Keep that lunge in the front leg. Exhale. This time as you inhale, straighten the front leg. Bring that back foot in very slightly. Reach forwards, forwards, forwards. And then the front hand comes down to the front leg. We come into our triangle pose. So you can hold onto this bottom shin for a bit of support. If you want to make it even more challenging, a bit spicier, build the strength. You can reach both arms like you're holding a big beach ball above the head. Just one breath here, breathing in. Exhale. Bring the gaze down to the ground. Lunge into this front leg. Front foot comes to the back. We come into our downward facing dog or our tabletop position. So you pick either one depending on what feels best for you today. Let's take 2 breaths here. Breathing in. Big exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. Let's go for the other side. So lifting that left leg out behind, either with the bottom knee lifted or down on the ground like so. As you exhale, you're drawing the knee towards the nose. Inhale, extend out behind. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. This time, place that foot down in between the hands. Grounding the back heel down, we rise up into our warrior 2. Good. So draw the tailbone down. You're stretching the arms out to the side. Back foot is sort of parallel to the short side of the mat. Gaze into that front middle finger. Once you've found that positioning, inhale, straighten both legs, reaching up. Exhale, press down, warrior 2. 2 more times. Inhale, we reach up. Exhale, press down. Last one, breathing in. Exhale, pressing down. 1 breath here in your warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen the back body. Exhale, softening. Inhale, straighten this front leg. Bring the back foot in slightly. Now reach forwards, forwards, forwards. And then we come down into our triangle pose. So as before, you can hold onto this front shin for a bit of support. Maybe you're hovering the hand just in front to engage the muscles. That final option, we hold that big beach ball above the head. Just 1 breath here, breathing in. Exhale, good. Take the gaze down, reaching to the floor, bending both knees. Same with the feet behind you. We'll come into our child's pose for a moment. So the knees can be as wide as the mat. We reach the arms forwards, lower the forehead towards the ground. And as I've said in other sessions, if you're a little bit higher up in this child's pose, that's totally fine. You just go to where feels most restful for your body. And we'll take 2 more breaths here, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Inhale, rising up. Taking yourself over to sit onto the pelvis, legs out in front, lying all the way back down onto the ground. Shuffle the hips over to one side, stretch the arms out wide, let the knees fall down in the other direction. So we're coming into a twist on the back of the body here. Just a way to move all of the internal organs to get a bit of a stretch through the back and front of the body. And here we start to slow down the breath. 2 more breaths here, breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the legs up through center. Shuffle the hips over to the other side. Let the legs fall down in the other direction. Now, if the arms aren't feeling too comfortable out wide, you can always have the hands resting onto the body. 2 more breaths, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Inhale, lift the legs up through center. Keep the soles of the feet onto the floor now. Knees are bent. Allow the knees to fall inwards with the feet out wide. Coming back to that same constructive rest pose that we began the session with. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Hands can rest on the body here. As we take a final moment of stillness, just to consolidate our practice before we carry on the rest of our day. And let's take 3 breaths together to close, breathing in. A big exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now always feel free to stay here for a little bit longer, lying down if you wish. Otherwise, hugging the knees into the chest, coming back up to seated with me. And that is the end of our session today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you built up a little bit of heat and fire in the body. And I'll see you next time.